Okay guys, so right here on my screen we can see an image which is bearing the content 1D confirmation, which is akin to also 1 daily confirmation, and this is what I post anytime on my status for those of them that are with my contacts. So, and I also promised to shoot a video regarding this. Now you can see this very thing. You can see bearish candles here, even though they aren't reddish in color, just a normal drawing. And then you can see this very bullish candle, and as long as it crossed it, it became a buy signal. You can see it buy the next day. So this is very powerful, and I call it institutional precision. Yes, that is what we call it in Forex Genius Academy. And don't forget that institutional precision is the only way out. So I think it was last 3 weeks or so that one of my students showed me an analysis that she did on two powerful assets. That was volatility 31s index and then jump 75 index. So she showed me the analysis, and the voice note here she recorded was like, mentor, what am I going to be doing in this very thing? Should I go ahead to buy this first one and then sell the second one? So now, after I went through the charts of both, this was the reply that I gave her. Okay, go ahead, though the second looks like it is oversold already for the day. You can see it. So that was what I told her. The second looks like it is already oversold for the day. So, and it was exactly what happened. The first one bought, why the second one actually also bought, because remember what I told her, it is oversold already for the day. Now, where is the confirmation? Like, what later happened? Now you can see what she showed me. This is a support zone, and then this is a resistance zone. And as usual, I always teach my students structure. Yes, that is what we teach in Forex Genius Academy. So I used to tell them that anytime price breaks below the previous lower low, because this is lower low, you can see it, right? Like overall, I'm talking about the overall trend. So anytime price breaks below this very thing, that is going to sell. So, and she was like, this is it that we're about to see. That is why this very video is very important, because it is going to be breaking certain hard concepts which will enable you to avoid deceit, you understand? And that is pertaining the daily confirmation, you get? So now I told her it is already oversold. Now this is our support zone and her resistance zone, and as said before initially, that we used to buy anytime market breaks below the previous higher high, and then breaks, and we used to sell anytime the market breaks below the previous lower low. So, but this one is not it. Now look at what later happened. Now look at it. This was that, because look at our support zone here. Even though I didn't mark it, like this was our support zone, she was intending to sell it further, you understand, and our resistance zone was somewhere marked here. And now let's also check if this is actually jump 75 index. You can see it, jump 75 index. Now let's see what is currently on my screen. Now this is also jump 75 index, and now what later happened? It bought. Yes, even though it broke through that very, like it break through that very support zone, like it break below it a bit, but what later happened? It later bought. Just like I told her, it is already oversold for the day and it bought. Now how did I know that this very market is going to buy? Now permit me to also show you one important concept too. Now here is my Telegram community, and I think it was on May 12th here. Now I called a trade idea on volatility 25 index, like it was a sell setup. And not just that too, I also shared a powerful setup too on volatility 10 index. Now look at what I said, volatility 10 index lookout, real breakout plus retest, otherwise forget it. And what did I mean by real breakout? I saw this very thing, and now look at what we usually do in Forex Genius Academy. You can see it here, that anytime price breaks below this thing, it's going to sell. But what about that of my student that she sent to me? Isn't this the same thing? Actually, it is not the same thing. That is where the power of one daily confirmation comes into place. Now what later happened? So let's scroll to what later happened. Now look at it here. Volatility 10 index update, institutional precision. You can see shaded live here. Who caught that? Already it broke below it and it was selling immediately, like it was selling. Now let's still scroll to see what happened. You can see it, institutional precision. This was the before chart and this was the after chart. It sold big time. Now what about the volatility 25 index also that I called? volatility 25 index, remember that it was what, a sell setup. Okay, now my students, some made money from the volatility 25 index. Okay, yes, volatility 25 index letter triggered too. I think I wrote it here that it has triggered, you understand. Okay, look at it, sell stop order on volatility 25 index is triggered. So now we are not even talking about the volatility 10 index that has already played out. So this was my students, like they are my students. Look at, they took the trade. Okay, so now let's scroll over to where it hit TP. I didn't screenshot the before chart for this very one, so but it hit TP. So now how am I able to be doing this very thing? This is the answer to it. This is the answer. The one daily confirmation, it is a very powerful concept that we use in Forex Genius Academy. Is very, very powerful. And if you are not hacking, like if you are not familiar with this very thing, like if you are not familiar with this very one daily confirmation, you are prone to be making mistakes. So now let's dive into my charts. The assets I'm going to be focusing on here in this very lecture is the volatility 25 index and then jump 25 index too. These are two powerful assets that this very concept respect very well, but majorly I'm going to be focusing on volatility 25 index. So now what is this thing all about? I call it institutional precision. And if you want to understand this very video very well, like if you want to get your head around it very well, also be addressing it as what, institutional precision. Institutional precision is the only way out. So now let's get to work. So now this is my chart here, and this is volatility 25 index. So now my students, like we have been following these very charts right from last year. We've been following these very charts. Believe me, like most of us, we made use of every opportunities that this very volatility 25 index has been creating. Like even my students, they know that this is one of my best pair, you understand. Now what is this very one daily confirmation all about? Now this very one daily confirmation has just a simple rule. What is that rule? Anytime the market is buying, anytime the market will buy, you need to, like, first of all, always visit your 24-hour time frame, which is one daily confirmation. Remember, this is the riff chart, so they are not going to be just specifying one daily. When you see 24 hours, it also means one daily time frame. Now the rule for buying is that once candlestick break above the previous candlestick, like once it closes above it with a full body, then the market will buy. Now this is also what we saw here too. Now this is a bearish market, then this very candle, it crossed below this one. Not just that it crossed it, like it broke below, like it crossed above it. Not just that it crossed above it, it also left a very huge body, and then this became our buy signal for the next day. So is this very thing worth it? It is actually worth it. Anytime price breaks above the previous candle, then leaving a full body, it is what's likely a buy signal for the next day. And that is also the same thing for sell. Anytime price breaks below a particular candlestick, leaving a full body, it is also a signal for what? A signal for sell. Now let's take a close look at everything that has been happening here in this very market right from the buy here, because if you also want to get it very well, like if you want to be cashing this very move very well, always monitor, like always concentrate on a trending market, you understand. You might not really get a good thing out of a ranging market. Concentrate on a trending market. Any pair that is trending very well, this very strategy works in it. Now these are bullish candlesticks, you can see it. These are bullish candlesticks. This one closed below this one, then it bought. Closed below this one, then it bought. And one rule is that if there is a candle that closed above a particular candle but it didn't leave huge wick, be careful trading that very market. Like I'm talking about for the buy now, for the buy signal now, be careful buying that very market. You should only buy a particular asset once the candle that break above it has full body, you understand. Now this is a buy market too. Now this very candle now closed above this very one, like this very one now closed above this very one. You can see this very one. Okay, now let me start from here. This very one now closed above it. Yes, it was actually a buy for this one. Closed, this one didn't close well, it didn't close well, but this one passed it, it became a buy, like it serves as a buy signal. Now let's take for example now that maybe today let me get my tool, my trend line tool. Yeah, so now let's take for example now that this was the market, like this is the market that we have been monitoring here. like we've seen this very buy took place, this very one has also taken place, and then this one we saw this very market break above this very thing. Now what we are going to be doing is that right on this very day, we should now be aware that once market break above something like this, break above this very market, the next day is going to be a buy. So we are not just monitoring it, like we are not monitoring it because this one has formed already. No, we have seen this very buy, we have also seen this very buy. Now we should be very conscious to understand that once market break above this very thing, it's going to be a big buy. This candlestick got here, then it couldn't go further. This one also got here, couldn't break above it. Now we are now conscious. Now you should now be conscious. It is now your responsibility to fasten your seat belt, because anytime price breaks above this very one, is going to be a massive buy. Now you can see what happened. It break above it, and now it became a pure massive buy too. Now you shouldn't just be waiting for price to break above it, like for this one now to break above it, then finish forming, then the next day you just want to buy. No, you can actually make the most use of the opportunity as long as the market has breaked above it very well, like today, and you've come to the daily candles, like you've come to the daily time frame, you've seen that the size of that very candlestick is still small, then you can actually buy that very market. You understand? Now coming to this very place, this one break above it, it became a very pure buy, but this one now was not able to break above it. You understand? So now there is no signal for this one. You understand? So we are just going to leave it to play out anytime like how it wants. Now this very one break below this very one, like it didn't break below it, so a kind of let's just wait to see what is going to happen. Let's see if a particular candlestick is going to still break below this very one, because if it breaks below it, we are now going to look for sell. Remember that this is 24-hour time frame, right? So now this very one still break below it, and it sold a bit already. This is why I call my buy stop and my sell stop order. Like this is how I used to do it. Understand now, because this is a massive secret that I'm giving out in this very video. So don't forget to subscribe, share, then share the good news. You understand? So now this is how I used to call the buy stop order. Now I have seen that price has been respecting this very zone, so I know that anytime price break below it is going to be a buy, and of course this one should work out. And now look at the opportunity for sell. Price has come here, couldn't go downwards. Price has also come here, still respecting this very support zone. So I know that any force that should pull these very markets down, breaking below this very zone, is going to be a further sell. And you understand? Now look at what happened. It break below it, and the market sold further. You can see the way it sold further. Don't ignore this very move, because this is actually going to be a massive move when we go to a lower time frame. So have you seen it? It sold, even though the market later shrinked, became a bullish candle. So now this rule has been working. Now immediately this one became a bullish candle. Look at, we now concentrated on the buy. Break below this very one, bought. Break below it, bought. Break below it, bought. Look at how it happened. Break below it, bought. Look at this one, couldn't break below it, so there is no signal at all for us. Now we now saw a red candle. This one break below it, sold. Look at what has been happening, like almost respecting everything. You can see it. If we are to study this very candlestick one after the other, you will see that it has been respecting it. You understand? It has been respecting it. Now why did I told my students not to sell that very market? When she sent me that very screenshot, I went over to my daily time frame, like to my 24-hour time frame, and what I saw there was not even encouraging. Yes, even though it was a powerful bearish market, but the market was already, like, it has already sold for a very long time. You understand? Now it's just like this very thing here, like this very market here. Let me use this very one for example, like this very selling market here, this very bearish market. So now I'm assuming that this was the screenshot that she sent to me. You understand? Because I can't necessarily go to navigate towards the daily time frame of what she sent to me. It has been long anyway. So now this was a bearish market, and now this was another bearish market. So now price was here, like exactly here, and now she was telling me, mentor, should I sell? I was like, no, because if you shake the strength, like the length of this very candle, you know, there are some candles that, like, there are some assets that when you come over to them using your ruler, if you use your ruler to shake their length, is not really going to like be that kind big. You understand what I mean? So now I already measured it with my ruler, and I was like, should this very, like, is this very candle going to still sell for that? And I realized that the answer is what? The answer is no. So the market is likely to just respect this very zone, don't break below it. You understand? So that was what I told her. Don't sell this very market. It looks like something which has been oversold. You can't expect a candle to keep being taller, despite the fact that the market is a bearish candle. You understand? So have you seen why the concept of the daily time frame is very important? It will guide you on understanding about the structure of the market. Now when you come to the daily time frame, you already know how a shape of a candle should be. You understand? So now if the shape of a candle is very tall, you can't expect the market to keep selling in lower time frames. You understand? Because the daily time frame has already guided you to know the shape of the market, to know the shape of the candlestick. Will these things still be like, will it still continue to be bigger? Will it still continue to be shorter? Will it still continue to be longer? So this will guide you in making splendid decision in your lower time frame. Now looking at the current market chart now on volatility 25 index. Look at my volatility 25 index. So I want to navigate over to the current market, current time frame. So now volatility 25 index is currently ranging in my daily time frame, like it's ranging, and this is where things can get really tougher. So now as a financial trader, what are you going to be doing here? Because the market also respected our structure, institutional position. Break below this one, we sell. Break below it, we sell. This one couldn't break below it, so we don't do anything at all. I'm talking about this very candlestick. This one couldn't break below it, so we will not do anything at all until this very one break below it. So now we'll sell. This one went up, this one went up. Now we wanted to buy here, but we still saw another candlestick break below this very one, we sold. You understand? Now this one came here, respected it, so we didn't do anything. Like this was how it continued, and now look at what we are currently seeing on our chart. So this is a place where things can get really tougher, and if you are not careful with your decision, you can fall into deceit. Now what are we going to be doing here currently? Now what we're going to be doing here currently is that this is a time for us to wait, because every day is not for trading. There are times you monitor the market, you try to monitor the structure of the market to understand what the market is trying to do. You understand? So now market is currently ranging here, but we already have a low here. This is our lowest low at the current moment. You understand? So anytime price should break below this very thing is going to be a sell. Don't forget it. This is our current low for the market, so we are waiting to see if market can still push towards this very zone. Otherwise we are not going to be doing anything sell. Understand this very thing now. Despite the fact that overall the market is currently bearish in our 24-hour time frame, we are not going to be doing anything selling our lower time frame until market break below this very highest, like this very realest low. I call it realest because it is the most efficient low that we have here in the market. You understand? And now we are currently having this very current high here on our charts. This is our current high here in our chart, like for the nearest high that we have here in our chart. So now this, in between these very two zones, we are going to be monitoring how prices are going to be behaving, like in between these very two zones. So now what we are going to be doing for now is that we are going to observe, like we'll be in an observation mode for now with regards to how the market is moving right now for the 25 index. So now if the market should break below this very zone, then we will start doing more of sells again. But if you should not break it, maybe we start seeing me buy candle, then market break below this very one, then we know that the market has changed character. Have you seen how we have already understood the move now in our 24-hour time frame? So now that is what will now help you to navigate over to your 1-hour time frame or 4-hour time frame to determine what is really going to happen. Now we have already marked out our zone in our 24-hour time frame, and now it is now helping us. We already know that anytime market still break below this very zone is going to be a sell. We now start doing more of sells. You understand? So now this here was like also a zone that we marked out. I think this was the market that we even targeted. In our Telegram group. So now price break below it sold big time. Maybe not this one, but every one of them are still that. You know, I didn't mark this one in my daily time frame. So now we are currently in an observation mode, trying to see how price is going to react. But know that you can still make the most use of the opportunity of maybe buying it here, doing your internal analysis. Maybe you see a particular setup like this. Maybe you are seeing something like these are support zone, you buy something like that. Is still nice too, but I'm talking about institutional precision, the one we don't even guess. We don't guess here, we use real structure to understand what the market is going to be doing. So now we are not going to sell this market, we are not going to do anything sell until market break below this very place. Now we are not going to do anything buy until market break above this very place. So now in between this zone, we are just monitoring this very market, because the market has been moving in a series of lower highs and lower low, but coming to this very place, like coming to this very zone, the lower highs and lower low wearing that obvious. Now the market started to act like it's going to change character, you understand? So but it is yet to change character now until it should break above this very zone, you understand? So but if it should break below this very zone, then we are still going to do more of sell. So that is the same thing that is also happening in jump 25 index, even though jump 25 index now is currently ranging about 2, you understand? So now let me go over to my 24-hour time frame to see what is happening there. My 24-hour time frame. So the market hasn't really been good anyways, but I think there were times that we also made use of this very opportunity. So charts not really loading, maybe that is okay, it's low, maybe it's my network connection like very low. So but that concept also work in this. Remember that in your 24-hour time frame, your job is to watch how market breaks above previous zone, previous candlestick, you understand? So this was how we killed volatility 25 index and even volatility 10 index. Yes, it also works very well in volatility 10 index. As long as a market is trending, it is going to work. This very system is going to work in it. This very institutional precision strategy is going to work in it. As long as the market is trending, it is going to work in it. As either it is trending upwards or it is trending downwards. So that was what we used to model volatility 25 index and even what jump volatility 10 index, and we've been using it to model even USD card, Euro AUD, still working forex trading, even in some synthetic indices trading too. So I believe that you have been, like, your mindset have been rewired. You've been able to understand how I usually call these very powerful setups that play out almost all the time. So now this is our Forex Genius Academy website, and in Forex Genius Academy what we do is raw institutional precision, you understand? So now this website can also help. The link to this very website is in the description of this very video. So in Forex Genius Academy we do what we call institutional mastery. So now we're going to be mastering the strategies, assessing the systems, and then building lasting wealth through institutional level forex education. And we also have lectures too, and this very lecture contain powerful videos, and I drop global macroeconomics updates every day. Now this is one for today: dollar strength returns amid global tension, Euro USD weakness, just because Kevin Wash is now the new third chair. And there is also forex lectures for every day. You can see it where the possibility circle. And also you can also learn, like we have academic books, Forex Milk, Beginner's Guide to Learning How Forex Trading from Scratch, Understand Charts. Most of my students started with this very video. So if you want to get this very book, most of my students started with it. So if you want to get this very book, just click on this very get access now button and the book become yours immediately. My Broken Eye is a very powerful book. Even understanding global economics in your financial journey is also a powerful book. And also we have the rewiring the trader's mindset, good for your discipline, you get. So now this is going to be the end of this very video. If it did you well, click your subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, then share it, like it, and I'm going to be encouraged to do more videos.